In the heart of the United States, far away from the chaos of city life, the Whitaker family stands as a curious case of inbreeding. Mark Laita, the photographer and documentarian, paints a vivid picture of his initial meeting with the Whitaker family, describing it as out of control and akin to scenes one might expect in exaggerated backwoods cult films. The Whitakers live in a rural area, adding to the mystique of their story. This setting, home to a tight-knit community of around 779 people, became the backdrop for Laita's exploration into the heart of the Whitaker family. A unique family background. At the heart of the extraordinary narrative that is the Whitaker family saga lies a genealogy that stretches beyond conventional boundaries. Their family tree is a complex tapestry woven with relationships that defy societal norms. Cousins who marry, siblings forming unions, and the rare occurrence of identical twins giving birth to subsequent generations. In the current generation, only 4 out of the 15 siblings remain, bound together by a shared home and a history that transcends time. The Whitaker story delves beyond the surface of familial connections, offering a profound exploration of the consequences stemming from such intermarriages. The family carries the weight of biological implications, manifested in physical deformities, misshapen eyes, disabilities, and a myriad of developmental challenges. Within this intricate narrative, 2 individuals, Ray and Timmy, grapple with conditions so severe that their ability to communicate is profoundly impaired. As the Whitakers navigate the intricacies of their intertwined relationships, the toll of their genetic legacy becomes increasingly evident. The physical manifestations of their shared gene pool become a visible testament to the challenges that they face. Misshapen eyes reflect a history of shared ancestry, and disabilities are etched into the family's narrative, each generation carrying the imprint of the one before. Historical and social factors. Understanding the complexities of the Whitaker story requires an exploration of the historical and social forces that produce their unique circumstances. Their isolated location played a crucial role in their story, as it severely restricted their options for possible mates. The Whitakers faced the difficulty of locating compatible partners in a limited social environment in a time before the digital era when it was impossible to swipe left or right. Generational suspicion further compounded the family's isolation. This suspicion, potentially born out of necessity in a world where survival took precedence, led the Whitakers to form connections within their own kin. In these remote corners of America, the practice of inbreeding was not as uncommon as one might assume. The combination of geographic isolation, generational suspicion, and limited access to education collectively forged an environment where unconventional family structures were not merely accepted but became a way of life. The Whitakers' choices and circumstances were undoubtedly influenced by the constraints of their environment. The isolation of their community, both physically and socially, meant that the conventional avenues for meeting potential partners were scarce. As a result, the family turned inward, forming bonds within their own kin as a means of navigating the challenges of their unique circumstances. Challenges of inbreeding. The distinct repercussions of the Whitaker family's unique history are vividly reflected in the physical and cognitive challenges that many of its members grapple with. The visage of deformed faces, misshapen eyes, and an array of disabilities paints a poignant picture of the inherent struggles embedded in their genetics. Among the family members, Ray and Timmy stand out, navigating a world where daily communication becomes a formidable hurdle. Their conditions are so severe that verbal expression becomes a significant challenge. These obvious difficulties highlight the intricate effects of the family's proclivity for inbreeding. It serves as a sobering reminder that, although close cousins are often discouraged from getting married, the Whitaker story takes place in a world where these kinds of relationships were not only acceptable, but actually necessary for survival and a continued existence. Their biological limitations testify to the complex interactions between heredity and social decisions, demonstrating how a family's health and well-being can be influenced by a particular historical background. Ray and Timmy's struggle with communication serves as a microcosm of the broader impact on the Whitaker family. Their daily challenges highlight the tangible and profound effects that can result from a history marked by close kin connections. The physical manifestations of their shared gene pool become a poignant narrative, underscoring the complexities of familial choices and the lasting consequences that can ripple through generations. Resilience and positivity. Within the intricate tapestry of the Whitaker family's narrative, each member emerges as a testament to resilience and positivity, despite the challenges embedded in their genetic code. One such embodiment of transformation is Ray, whose youth was marked by violent outbursts, kicking and screaming without warning. Over the years, Ray has harnessed that intense energy, turning it into a force for good. Today, he stands as a beacon of joy and laughter, a living proof that even in the face of adversity, one can evolve into a positive force. Lorraine, the quietest among the siblings, carries a tragic secret of her own, having endured a traumatic assault in her younger years. Yet, she embodies strength and resilience that speak volumes. Lorraine stands out among the family members as a living testament to the unwavering unity that defines the Whitaker family. Regardless of the circumstances, they stick together, providing unwavering support through thick and thin. Timmy emerges as a symbol of innocence and wonder. Born out of Lorraine's tragedy, Timmy navigates the world with a purity that brings joy to the entire family. He assumes the role of an artist among them, uniquely becoming the only one to complete high school. The individual stories within the Whitaker family paint a collective portrait of triumph over adversity. Ray's transformation from turbulent youth to a source of joy showcases the potential for personal growth even in the most challenging of circumstances. Betty. In the intricate tapestry of the Whitaker family, Betty emerges as the resilient force that binds them together. The most independent among her siblings, Betty shouldered a profound responsibility from an early age. In a heartfelt promise to her mother, Betty committed to forego marriage and personal pursuits, dedicating herself entirely to the family's well-being. Her purpose became synonymous with their collective journey. Betty's commitment is not a mere duty, it's a living example of a woman navigating life's complexities with unwavering grace. Despite the challenges and limitations imposed by their circumstances, Betty has never allowed bitterness or anger to taint her spirit. She embodies the strength of a woman wholly dedicated to the welfare of her family. Hope and progress. The Whitaker family's narrative transcends the boundaries of perpetual struggle, evolving into a powerful testament to the indomitable human spirit's capacity to triumph over adversity. Recent times have witnessed transformative shifts in their circumstances, with successful charity campaigns and the unwavering support of hundreds of people collectively lightening the burden they carry. The weight of poverty, isolation, and societal judgment is gradually lifting from their shoulders. In a heartening twist of fate, the Whitakers have recently welcomed a new member into their tight-knit fold, a healthy, blue-eyed boy born to one of the cousins. This joyful addition symbolizes hope for a brighter future, a future where the lingering consequences of past inbreeding may be slowly dissipating. The positive shifts in the Whitaker family's circumstances underscore the transformative power of collective support and compassion. Successful charity campaigns and the outpouring of assistance from hundreds of individuals have become catalysts for change, signaling that the broader community recognizes and empathizes with their journey. This is not the only inbred family in the world. Throughout history, we can see several examples across the world which are still prevalent in some regions. The dark legacy of inbreeding. In the annals of history, tales of inbreeding have often unfolded with peculiar twists and consequences. One such story takes us back to October 7, 1649, when the King of Spain, Philip IV, married Marie Anna, later known as Mariana of Austria. This union, marked by a substantial age gap and a familial connection as uncle and niece, raises eyebrows today. In the context of the Habsburgs, the royal family notorious for keeping the apple closer to the family tree, it was part of a pattern that would eventually lead to their downfall. The Habsburg family, with a family tree that looked more like a stump than an expansive network, engaged in a pattern of inbreeding with the intention of preserving their heritage. In their pursuit of maintaining control over their lineage, they unwittingly set the stage for severe consequences. The union of Philip and Mariana, marked by familial ties as uncle and niece, gave rise to offspring who would suffer the most from their extensive practice of inbreeding. Among these descendants, Charles, infamous for his deformities and known as the Bewitched, bore the harsh physical consequences of the family's choice to intermarry. This unfortunate individual became a symbol, embodying the tragic outcomes that can arise from close familial unions. The Habsburgs, driven by their desire to preserve their heritage, inadvertently created a legacy of suffering, with Charles serving as a stark reminder of the profound repercussions that can accompany generations of inbreeding. Charles, born of the union between an uncle and a niece within the Habsburg family, faced a challenging childhood marked by a series of illnesses that earned him the moniker the Bewitched. His distinctive feature, an elongated jaw attributed to the Hadsbury jaw phenomenon, became a poignant symbol of the genetic challenges embedded in the family's history of inbreeding. Charles' sister, Margaret, did not share the same fate, highlighting the unpredictable nature of inbreeding's impact even within the confines of the same family. The contrast between Charles and Margaret underscores the complex and often variable outcomes that can emerge from the intricate web of familial relationships, shedding light on the intricate consequences of the Habsburgs' intergenerational practice of marrying within close kin. The Royal Inbreeding. The Habsburgs were not alone in their inclination towards inbreeding. It was a widespread phenomenon among European royalty. Beyond Europe, inbreeding posed challenges in Asian countries such as Japan, Korea, and China. Notably, Thailand's king during the 19th and 20th centuries participated in extensive relationships, even marrying his half-sisters. The offspring born from these unions faced alarming mortality rates, laying bare the inherent dangers and pitfalls associated with such intricate familial entanglements. The prevalence of inbreeding, irrespective of geographical boundaries, underscores the shared struggles and consequences faced by individuals caught in the web of royal and aristocratic family dynamics. Inbreeding's influence reached beyond royalty, touching even prominent figures like Charles Darwin. His union with his first cousin, Emma Darwin, left a lasting impact on their family, characterized by various illnesses and premature deaths among their children. As Darwin observed the health challenges faced by his offspring, he found himself questioning the wisdom of marrying close relatives. This introspection led him to recognize the potential pitfalls associated with inbreeding. Darwin's personal experience underscored the broader societal concerns surrounding interfamilial marriages. This in turn prompted him to reflect on the potential risks and consequences that such unions could bring, not just to his own family, but to others as well. Modern cases. A contemporary tale unfolded in Germany, featuring Patrick Stubing and his biological sister, Susan. Their unconventional relationship resulted in the birth of 4 children, each grappling with diverse health challenges. This real-life narrative serves as a stark reminder of the potential consequences of sibling incest, shedding light on the hardships that can befall the offspring of closely related parents. The story underscores the importance of understanding and addressing the complex ethical, legal, and health implications associated with such familial relationships in the modern world. Scientific consequences. It's vital to grasp the genetic intricacies of inbreeding. Children inherit genes from both parents, and occasionally faulty genes might not be a cause for concern. But when 2 faulty recessive genes come together, it can lead to autosomal recessive conditions. This genetic lottery determines whether a child born from closely related parents will enjoy good health or face severe health issues. The risk lies in the potential combination of similar faulty genes, making it more likely for recessive genetic conditions to manifest. This sheds light on the unpredictability of genetic outcomes whenever we're talking about inbreeding within relationships, and emphasizes the importance of considering these factors in both individual and public health contexts. And if you're liking the video so far, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you. The legal and ethical landscape. In the complex landscape of inbreeding, legal frameworks worldwide exhibit significant diversity. Certain U.S. states and countries outright prohibit marriage between first cousins, deeming it illegal, while others permit such unions under specific conditions. These legal variations reflect the ongoing societal discourse on these types of relationships. Ethical considerations play a pivotal role, prompting a closer examination of the potential harm that may befall children born from closely related parents. The debate revolves around balancing personal freedoms with the potential health risks associated with inbreeding. The global impact. The ramifications of inbreeding are not isolated to particular regions. Its effects have reverberated across the globe. In remote communities, such as an undisclosed valley in Europe or a farming community in Australia, the consequences of prolonged inbreeding have been starkly evident. These communities, often isolated and with limited gene pools, faced a myriad of challenges as a result. Children born into these environments bore the brunt of deformities, disabilities, and a host of other health issues. In Australia, a farming community practicing inbreeding for generations was discovered, and the children born into this community faced severe deformities, including being blind, deaf, and struggling with basic communication. The limitations imposed by a restricted gene pool became painfully apparent, emphasizing the critical role genetic diversity plays in the health of a population. Similarly, in the undisclosed valley in Europe, generations of inbreeding led to an array of health problems among the community's children. The lack of genetic variation contributed to deformities and disabilities, demonstrating the far-reaching impact of inbreeding even in a lesser-known community. These real-world examples underscore the importance of genetic diversity in maintaining healthy populations. They serve as cautionary tales, emphasizing the need for awareness and education about the potential consequences of inbreeding. The exploration of the Whitaker family's unique narrative and the broader examination of inbreeding across historical and contemporary contexts sheds light on the complex interplay between genetics, societal norms, and the well-being of individuals and communities. So, what are your thoughts about all of this? Let us know in the comments section down below, and make sure to like the video. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you again soon.